Pretty much.
Hey, pretty people! Welcome back to the Pretty Much podcast. We're your hosts, Kaylee
and Nat.
And today we're going to be talking about roommates.
I'm so excited. I feel like roommates make the best stories because it's like, I have to say 90% of the time, either they're your best friend or like your mortal enemy.
And I always start conversations with my roommate stories. Like if I'm meeting someone for the first time, there's a 90% chance I'm telling them a roommate story because they're so funny and I have really good ones.
Because they're always so interesting, especially I think like in your first year of college, majority of the time, you're moving in with like a random person you've never met.
Yeah.
And you know, that doesn't always go well.
People are not the same online.
No, they're
Never.
not. And like in my instance, like I went random.
I did too.
And it was interesting.
It was, we'll talk about it.
Yeah. Do you want to talk a little bit about your first roommate?
Okay, yeah. So I ended up going random because I tried to get a roommate and we just like missed the deadline, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
We still talk, she's really nice. But I ended up in an economy triple, which is like a really small room and
We lived in a pretty shitty building.
it was not ideal, but we lived and we got by.
Yeah.
But I was in a triple. One was Layla, who we mentioned on the last episode.
Yes.
We love her. And the other was a third semester while we were first semesters, and she took a while to move in because we were there for orientation and we were just waiting on her to get there. She gets there, we introduce ourselves, everything's fine. Then things start coming up. Like, number one thing is she just was so nitpicky about every single thing. And it was almost hard to want to come back to the room because I knew there would be something.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for example, I was still moving in. Like, and this was like orientation week or my first week of school. And I was busy. Like, I was never in my room. So I wasn't really done unpacking yet.
Mm-hmm.
And she would be like, "Hey, Kaylee, can you make sure to pick this t-shirt that was on the ground up?" And it would just be like little things like that. And they would add up. And Layla was not happy about this because she was like, "You're just picking on her every single day." So eventually, this, what should we call the third roommate?
We can call her Julia.
Okay.
Julia.
So Julia was, she had her shoes in the door entrance one day.
I remember this.
And Layla walks in, sees those shoes, and trips over them. And she was like so mad. She was so mad, not because they were in her way, but because she had been saying little things like all week.
So nitpicky.
About like things being on the floor, like that kind of thing. So she trips over them and she's so mad. So she moves them over. And Julia comes into the room later and she's like, "Hey guys, whoever moved my shoes, can you not?" That was her catchphrase, "Can you not?" And it was just, oh my gosh.
I met her a couple times because again, like we were neighbors. And so honestly, like during the day we would hang out a lot because neither of us really wanted to be in our rooms. I loved spending time in my room when it was empty, but you know, the majority of the times it wasn't. But I remember like,
You were in a quad.
yeah, I was in a quad. I remember though, like that roommate Julia, she never really liked me, and I think it was just the association of me being friends with you and Layla. And also, she was friends with my roommate.
Yeah, she was.
Because one of my roommates was also third semester, and they were, I don't know if they were in the same friend group, but they were friends in some capacity. Yeah. But
after she found that her shoes were moved away from the door, she was like, "Whoever moved my shoes, can you not?" And Layla jumps up and she's like, That was me. And she was like, I just don't know why you moved my shoes. And she was like, oh, because I tripped over them. That's why. And it was just like this whole big ordeal.
It's also like,
It was finally like
small
Layla's
room.
breaking point.
yeah.
And we were like, okay, we have to talk to an RA. We had an RA meeting, and it was so funny because up to this point, I had been pretty chill. I'd be like, okay, I'll do it.
Just say yes. And
Yeah, and I was like pretty calm in the meeting just because I know I'm messy. I'm not a perfect roommate either, but I was just like, can we just be nice? Like, we have to live with each other,
Yeah.
and we all have to come back to the same room.
It's a small room too.
Yeah, and Layla was like not happy because she had like to see it from an outside POV, like someone being mean to her friend and
Yeah.
like picking everything apart. So
Because she really never said anything to Layla.
no, it was really only me. And then finally, one day we come back in the room, Layla and I, and we see like one bed doesn't have sheets on it. Julia's bed has nothing. All her snacks are gone. In fact, everything is gone.
Wait, I thought she told you guys.
No, she didn't
Wow.
tell us. She totally dipped, found a new room, and we were like, oh my gosh, she's gone.
In the same building too.
Yeah.
She moved like upstairs.
But anyway, we go to our RA and we're like, hey, like, just wondering where our roommate is because all of
Yeah.
her stuff is missing. And she was like, she's the sweetest girl, and she was like, ha ha ha, I can see how
She was so
that,
cute.
I can see how that might be confusing. Ha ha ha. And we're just like,
She was so cute. I literally love her so much.
But she definitely thought it was funny too. She like probably thought we were characters.
No, definitely.
Because we had been going to her. We
She
had.
was my other neighbor.
Julia was going to every RA, being like, "Get me out."
Yeah.
Oh, one time Nat came in the room and she left her sunglasses.
Oh my god.
On
Yeah.
Julia's like, what was it like?
It was her dresser.
It was her dresser, and then she was like, Kaylee, can you not leave your sunglasses on my dresser? Because I didn't know whose they were and I almost threw them away. And I was like, oh, they're not mine, they're my friends, but I'll give them back to her. I was like, what do you mean you almost threw them away? It could be like
Yeah.
one of 3 people's things.
I was gonna say, like,
Just set it on my bed.
if I, like, and this has happened to me where, like, sometimes you'll leave, like, a pair of earrings or something in my room.
Yeah.
If I see something, like, literally, found your necklace the other day, I was like, this isn't mine. I don't know whose it is, but my instinct was not to throw it away.
No.
Because it belongs to
To
somebody.
someone.
And it's like, and that's me living in a single. I live alone right now.
Yeah.
If you live with 2 other people, you don't throw away their belongings because
Yeah.
they're in your space.
If something is
Like-
misplaced, whatever. Just find a home for it.
I just feel like, yeah, it's just not that big of a deal. Like, it was a complete accident. Her dresser was right by the door, and I was like, you know, like, I walked in, I don't know what I was doing, but I guess I just, like, put them down, and then I forgot to grab them on my way out. But it's, like, very clearly just a mistake, and I don't
Yeah.
think it's really that deep. And for her to be like, yeah, like,
You're
I
not.
almost threw
Yeah.
them away, like,
And also another thing, she talked to herself.
a lot.
Like, literally talked to
But
herself.
like pretty loudly. I remember the first time that I met her, it was in y'all's room.
Mhm.
We were in there for like a second. We were just grabbing something and like leaving the room because we
Mhm.
never wanted to be there. And she's talking to herself so loudly that I thought she was on the phone.
Yeah, Layla did for the longest time, and I was like, no, she's talking to herself. And
I
she was
thought
like,
she
no,
had-
she has like an AirPod in, she's talking to her siblings or something.
I thought she had like an AirPod in or something, but no,
No.
she's just talking to herself.
Like, all the time, guys. Not an exaggeration. And she, like, also apparently, like, sat up in her bed and watched Layla, like, at nighttime.
Yes, like it's just very strange. Like I don't know. Like I still see her around now, and I say hi, but it's like, I don't know. Like Because I talk to myself, but like when other people are around, like it's either quiet or in my head.
She's a character.
Yeah.
She's a character.
To say the
It's
least.
whatever.
So I was in a quad. One of my roommates I loved. We're still good friends to this day. And like we lived on we lived on the right side of the room together. And then the other two on the left side, one of them like we just like didn't really get along. And the other one, like we're friends, but it was just like probably just not good roommates really. And I think like it wasn't even like a personality thing, it was more just like I have such a hard time living with that many people in the same space, like 4 people in one room, because it's not a suite, it's one room with all 4 of us in it. It was pretty big, I have to say.
Yeah.
But it was still just like, you know, there's obviously like a lack of privacy. And then we ended up like halfway through the first semester, I'm sitting at my desk, there's nobody in the room. A rat comes running out from under my like roommate's bed and starts running at me. Literally at me. I'm screaming my head off. I run out the door. I didn't see it again. I don't know where the fuck it went. I was freaked out. Like, so freaked out. And I run to our common room. I literally don't even have shoes on. I'm running in my socks. And I run to the common room and I'm like, guys, like, I literally, like, anybody who was around, I was like, there's a rat in my room. Like, there were 3 people there I had never met before. And I was like, somebody, like, please, like, help me. Like, I don't know what to do. And these, like, 3 guys, like, come with me. I've literally never met them. And they were all weirdly so excited. Like,
Of course they were.
because they were just like, they're like, oh, I want to see it, I want to see it. And I'm just
Of
like,
course.
oh my god. And then literally one of them's like, I'll be right back. And he goes to his room and he comes back, he has like mouse traps. And I'm like, what? And he's
Nice.
like, and I'm talking like, not the sticky ones, like the wooden fucking like, the
Snap
ones
your
that
hand
snap.
off.
And I'm just like, okay, like I don't know why you have this, but okay, like, and eventually it ended up being fine. We had like maintenance come in. There was like a hole in the wall, they patched it. We didn't have another rat after that, but it was so gross. I ended up getting pneumonia actually. And I was 17, so I couldn't go to urgent care by myself.
I
So,
remember
the guy that lived across from me, Michelle, as we can
Michelle.
call him, I know he's watching. Yeah, he like had to sign my like papers and
I remember
everything
that.
because I was still a minor, but I had pneumonia. Like I was really sick. And like, yeah, he had to come with me to urgent care a couple times. Literally so sweet for that because we barely knew each other.
Hi. We know you're watching.
My king, yeah. Yeah, like
Wait, that makes
literally-
me think about another story about a mouse. It was a mouse, and it was when my Julia replacement came in the room.
Which we'll talk about in a minute.
I will share many stories,
I
but
hope she's watching too.
no,
I think she will be though.
which she's probably not.
She probably doesn't want to see us.
But we were in the same OL group, and before Julia even moved in the room, she saw my room and decided she wanted to live there because she wanted
because
more
you're-
space for her stuff, and she wanted to be in the room all the time. And one
Because
of
your
her current
first-
roommates was
Your
already in the room.
first roommate moved in a week late because of orientation, because she was older, and like this person, almost said their name, saw like her like empty bed and was like, oh, I want to move in.
Yeah, and then she asked Julia to move in the room.
Yeah, she asked.
She was like, "Do you think I could just ask?" And I was like, "Well, we're like already not really that tight. Like it might be weird, but
Also,
you can
like,
try, I guess."
How do you ask somebody to move out of their room
Yeah,
so that you can move in? Like, that's
we need a new
ridiculous.
name for this new character,
Um,
Rachel.
Rachel?
So Rachel really didn't like her own roommates because one of them took up a lot of space, I guess, and the
Yeah.
other one was in the room all the time. Two things that Rachel did,
Yes.
you know, and she didn't like it because she was that person. She wanted to be that person.
She wanted to be the one that was taking up space and
Always in the room.
So
And she did become that person in my room. But eventually, it's like when we're first moving all her stuff in the room, I'm not happy. I didn't want her to be in the room, cause,
I remember.
and I'll tell you why. But she moved in the room, and it was the night we were all about to fall asleep. And I look on the ground, and there's a mouse. And I go, there's a mouse. Like, we can't fall asleep yet. Like, there's a mouse
There's a
in
mouse.
our room. Like, we need to get it out. And Rachel goes, are you just, like, imagining things? Did you really see one? Was it a blob? And I was like, no, it wasn't a blob. It had a mouse nose and
It's
mouse
also,
eyes and
like,
mouse ears and a tail.
We lived in a very old building. It's not uncommon. I have, like, after seeing that rat in my room, I had seen rats in the hallway. I've seen mice in the hallway as well.
Yeah.
I've seen them in the basement, in the practice rooms.
Oh.
Like, it is not strange that there are mice and rats in this building because they have been spotted on every single floor.
And I was like, I really am not imagining things. Like, I saw a mouse. I didn't see a blob. I know it was a mouse.
Yeah.
And this whole, like, it was going on for quite some time. And Layla's like, she's like, man, like, we do have to get this thing out. But she's like, trying not to, she's like, I don't know if we can go to sleep yet. And she ended up sleeping in the common room. Like, she,
Really? I
Yeah,
didn't
she
know
did.
that.
She did. Because I saw her run over to her side of the room.
Oh.
Eventually, we just, like, cracked the door open, and I never saw it again. But, yeah, that was one of our first.
When I had the rat in my room, it was like during the day, and I did not sleep there that night.
Oh, really?
I slept,
In the comments?
no,
Oh.
like, no,
Okay.
not that either.
Okay, so I want to tell you guys about a Salem trip I had.
Yeah.
This is a good one.
This is with Rachel,
This is with Rachel, and okay.
and not me.
For context, Nat and Rachel and a bunch of other people had been talking about going to Salem, but I wasn't really friends, like good friends, with the other people yet, so I was just talking to Nat, and I figured I would, like, hop in with their group.
Mm-hmm.
But at this time, Nat didn't realize I didn't care for Rachel, and I didn't realize Nat didn't care for Rachel.
Yeah.
And this was before Rachel was even my roommate. This was a few days before she became my roommate.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually I was just like, well, I haven't heard from Nat, so, like, let's just go, I guess, because we want to go and it's almost Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
So we go on this trip. It's really late at night, and we
This
were
was
like,
on a Saturday, I think, too.
we were like Pinteresting things, like trying to see where we wanted to go. Obviously, we both had never been there before, so we don't know how close everything is. But we get there like pretty late enough to eat dinner.
Well, so I actually remember, though, you asked me if I wanted to go with you guys, and I remember being like, oh, like, I'm busy, I can't.
Because I just wanted to go
Because
with you.
I wanted to go with you, but I didn't want to go with Rachel.
Yeah. And then Nat ended up going the next day, and I felt so betrayed. I was like, oh, so Nat hates me.
Because literally what happened
Nat
was,
hates me.
like, you reach out to me and you're like, hey, do you want to come with me and Rachel to Salem? And I was like, oh, I'm busy, because I was like, I don't really want to do that. But also, like, I was like, you know, they're friends, I need to respect that, and, like, you know, if I don't hang out with them all the time, that's fine. And while you guys were leaving, I'm hanging out in our common room with a bunch of our friends, and they're like, oh, like, we're going to Salem tomorrow. And I was like, oh, can I come? And they're like, yeah, sure.
Oh my gosh.
And so that's what ended up happening.
Oh.
But yeah.
Wait. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Anyway.
And I was sitting there, I was like, oh shoot, like, Kaylee went today.
Yeah. I wish I went with your group because it just progressively gets worse. So we ended up eating, and obviously it's Salem, it's kind of expensive, whatever. besides the point.
Way too expensive.
But it was really good. So if you ever have the chance to go there, I recommend it. And then we wanted to go to a museum because she found one she really wanted. So we decided to go to like the torture device museum. It was really cool and interesting. But that was like her big thing. And then she was like, okay, we need to do something you want to do. And I was like, low-key, I just want to see like the house from Hocus Pocus.
Yeah.
Like, I thought that was cool. So we walk over there and find it. And then we were like, okay, let's try to do a couple other things because all the museums are about to close and like everything's about to close. And I like
Because you guys definitely went later than
right.
you probably should have. Because everything closes like fairly early.
Yeah, and we did a lot of walking. Like we saw a bunch of cool things. But we're each trying to find like one more thing for each of us to do. And I was like, oh, apparently mine's not even closed. So that's out of the picture. And that made her so upset because I could have planned better, which also like, it was on my Pinterest thing. Like there was a list of things to do. So I didn't know they weren't all in the same area. Like whatever. And
I also just don't think it's that big of a deal. Because it's like, it's not like she planned an activity and you guys weren't able to do it. It was like,
the museums were closing.
You wanted to do something and you couldn't do it and you were fine with it. So I don't understand why she was so upset about it.
I think she wanted to go to like every museum and it was just like, I mean, we got here so late.
The tickets are expensive also.
Yeah.
I went to one when I went and it was fun, but like I don't think it's worth it to go to more.
Well, then we decided to go and shop. And she goes into like every store she wants to go into, and I was like, hey, my mom's birthday is in a couple days and you know I'll see her over break. I think I should like look for something. She was like, okay, you want to try this store? And I'm like, because the store all the stores she was taking me into, they were like trinket stores, like not authentic Salem trinkets, like you know what I mean? Like something you could find at Walmart.
It's like gift shoppy, yeah.
Yeah, like something that's like just kind of cringe. And I was like, I don't think so. Like maybe we should go into one of like the actual Salem stores and ask them where to go. I wanted to find a mug. And she was like, okay, sure. And so I asked a guy and they're like, try this store or this store. I'm like, okay. We go to a couple more stores that she wants to go to. She gets whatever she wants. And I'm like, okay, like maybe we should split off because it's getting kind of late and also I haven't gotten the one thing
that you're looking
that I'm looking for yet. And she's like, okay. So we split off for a little bit, and you should know like there were lines. It was Halloween time in Salem. So like I wanted to make sure I got something that I wasn't sold out. So I hop in a line, it starts moving, she comes out, she joins me, we go in, I finally find a mug and I get it. And we go home, and she was so upset. She was so upset because she felt like I wasn't willing to spend any money or whatever. And I'm like, okay, it's not that. I'm just trying to find one thing, and we keep going to every store you want to go to. And I haven't had time to look for anything I want, and you've gotten like a million things already.
So what happened was you guys got back to the dorms. You went to your room or the basement or something.
Yeah.
And I run into Rachel, and I'm like, oh, like, how was it? And we're talking for a little bit, and we're just kind of, like, sitting down, and she starts talking to me, like pretty badly about you.
She starts bad-mouthing me.
And she starts saying, like, I just don't understand, like, why she's so cheap, and, like, she doesn't want to spend money, and blah, 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 and I was like, well, Salem's expensive, and, like, college is expensive. Being a college student is not for the weak. Like it costs a lot of money to be here, especially at Berkeley when like we have to buy a lot of equipment for our classes that's really like not cheap, and so like I think it makes a lot of sense to not spend that much money on your outings because like Salem's expensive, you have to take the train there, like.
And also, we didn't spend money.
The museums, the gift shops, like it all adds up, and it's like I feel like you guys did enough to get the Salem experience, so I don't really understand why it was such a problem, but it was really upsetting because I was like, why do you feel like you can come to me about this and tell me that my best friend is like a cheapskate. Like,
Yeah.
what are you talking about? Like, she has a budget. And also, I think you made it very clear that you had a budget too.
Yeah, because I'm paying for my own tuition, so it's like, there's only so much money my parents could send me every week,
Exactly.
But we already did get, like, food in Salem, we went to a museum, we went to, like, some shops for you.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what else there is to do in Salem, except for all that we did.
I agree. I don't know. I just, like, I think it was just, I wish that she realized sooner that you guys were not going to be a good fit as roommates.
And then after the trip, we were like, okay, we need to talk, because she still wanted to move in the room. And I was like, I just don't know that I feel comfortable with you going to other people and bad-mouthing me, because obviously Nat told me this.
Yeah, immediately.
Yeah, and I was like, I just
I'm
don't.
like, bye, Rachel. And I was like, Kaylee, like.
And I told her, I was like, my number one rule is that, like, if we're gonna live together, we're not going to talk about each other, because I want to come back to my room and feel comfortable in it and
Yeah.
know that I'm welcome to my own home. So I was like, that's my number one rule. I'm like, I don't care about anything else. Like, we can't talk poorly about each other if we're living together.
Yeah.
Like, because I want to feel comfortable. And she was like, yeah, okay, I understand. So finally she emails the right people. She gets into my room. And there was somebody already supposed to come into my room. And I was like, please don't let Rachel in the room. Please
Yeah,
don't let her
because
in.
you had somebody else, like, planned out.
Yeah, but she ended up coming to the room.
She took up a lot of space.
Of course. Like, we tried to make compromises. Another thing was that she didn't like bright lights on because what?
I don't even remember.
She-
Probably, like, headaches or
She had a
something.
reason. And she like wanted it to be pitch black all the time. And I was like, okay, well, that's not really.
Yeah, it's like in a shared room you can't do that. Like maybe like
Yeah.
lights out at a certain time, like that's
Yeah.
fair.
But she wanted it pitch black during the entire day. And I was like, okay, that's not really like gonna work, I don't think.
Yeah.
And she was like, okay. So we made a compromise to put up fairy lights. Good compromise. That's
I
good.
thought it was cute too.
Yeah, it was cute. We made a lot of compromises. But at the end of the day, I would shut the door and I would hear her talking about me immediately.
Oh, through the door, yeah.
I would like intentionally shut the door, wait a while to hear her talking about me. Whatever. Or like I would almost fall asleep and she would start talking about me to Layla,
Yeah.
and Layla would be like, what, girl? Like,
I literally remember like, because the thing is, when Kaylee's asleep, you can't tell if she's even in the room. Because you just like flatten like a
I'm
pancake.
stiff.
And you do not move an inch. You're completely under your blanket. Your head is covered. You wouldn't know.
Yeah,
And we don't know when you wake up.
right.
So it's like, I remember I was literally having a conversation with Layla in the room, and you were awake the whole time, and I had no idea.
Yeah.
Because I remember, like, I started telling you the story later, and you were like, oh yeah, I heard it. And I was like, what? And you were like, yeah, I was awake. And I'm like, what? Like,
Yeah. But anyway, we made compromises. We got through the year, but what was the one thing she said? So I heard from a friend of a friend.
Oh, yeah.
That she said, I'm so glad Kaylee's out of the room and we don't live together anymore, because I feel like I have so much more space to freely hate her. It's just
like, that's like a real thing that she said, which I just think is so insane.
she's so funny. But here's the thing, like, I'm not, when there's like solidarity in thinking someone is a little crazy, like the whole floor thought that.
Yeah.
And I didn't feel as alone because everyone on our
Everybody
floor,
was kind of on the same page.
and based on their own experiences, like
Yeah.
it wasn't about me talking about her.
No.
They were like, how's it living with Rachel?
And we were just like, oh, like, how did you know?
I'm like, yeah, and they're like, well, I've talked to her.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But I think, like, like, good roommates, I feel like, just make all the difference. Like, I don't know. I think living with people is tough.
Yeah.
But when you have a good roommate, it's the best feeling
I love
in
my
the
roommate
world.
right now.
I
Hearts.
currently live alone, but I did like a program at Berkeley, actually, like when I was in high school, like when I was, I think, 16. And the girl that I lived with, we can call her Ella.
Yeah, let's call her Ella.
Ella, you know who you are. She's like one of my best friends now. She goes to Berkeley. She's like 1 year below us. And we lived together for 5 weeks. We had never met. Basically, how it works is they don't even set up the roommates beforehand. You show up, you get in line, and they give you a key. And they give someone else that key.
Yeah.
And you don't know who your roommate's gonna be.
That's such like a camp thing.
They literally, they just give out, they hand out the keys based on like age. That's how they had us like organized. And that was it.
Yeah.
And so we ended up living together, and it was the best experience because I'm definitely more of a morning person and she's more of a night person. I feel like that's kind of changed since then, but we're both yappers. But the thing is, like, she would talk my ear off at night, and then we'd go to bed, and then wake up in the morning, and she was awake, but she just like was like nonverbal, and I would talk her ear off pretty much, and like that's kind of, we had like different, we had one friend group, but we like usually hung out with different people during the day, and so after each day, she would tell me about, you know, like her day and everything, and we'd go to bed, and then I'd wake up and I'd tell her about my day, and it was like the perfect system. We kept the room like super clean. We like had like some of the same friends. We had the same friends over. Like,
that's really nice.
It was just really nice, and like literally the whole time we were like, oh,
liking the same people is so nice.
Yes, and like we would always just be like, oh, like when we get into Berkeley, or like when we're like in class together, whatever. And now it's actually happening, which is so crazy.
I love Ella.
And next year we're gonna be living together, which I'm really excited for. We're getting an apartment together. I'm literally so excited because since we were 16, we've been saying like, oh, when we live together again.
Oh, but that's so cute.
And
I'll be over all the time.
We're like, we've been manifesting this, like, and it's actually happening, and it's so insane.
Full
like,
circle.
Doing the whole like apartment hunting, and like we hung out the other day and we just made Pinterest boards together.
I was there, like,
yes.
I was like in Nat's bed, and they were like, Ella came over and she was like, okay, let's talk about it. The apartment.
Yeah, and like we have like a list of like things that we want to get for the apartment.
Their Pinterest boards looked the same.
We made Pinterest boards
crazy.
Separately, and then we shared them with each other, and we had some of like the same pins.
I love it.
And it was so perfect. We had like same aesthetic. I'm so excited. I feel like good roommates, like, it's, I mean,
yeah. My
makes such
current
a
roommate
big difference.
and I were like literally Glinda Elphaba. Like, my side is pink, her side is black.
Yeah.
But we're just like on the same page about a lot of things. Like, we've never had an argument once. We're
Miss
both really
Delia.
chill. I love you. We're really chill to each other. Yeah, it's great. Life has been great.
I feel like also, like, again, like, you guys like the same people. Like, because we're, like, your roommate is, like, our mutual friend. Because I used to be in a friend group with her that kind of fell apart. We're all kind of friends with the same people. And so I feel like whenever I'm in y'all's, like, room, we all, like, every time we have a debrief, we're all on the same wavelength.
Yeah.
And it's the best thing to, like, just, like, I'm sitting and, like hanging out with one of you and the other one walks in, and then like, we're all just like hanging out.
Yeah.
Our debriefs are crazy.
I love it.
But it's like,
and
those kinds
Layla,
of things are so
my
nice.
old roommate, lives on my floor. So she comes over and talks to me and Delia like a lot. It's great. I love like when all our friends come together.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Whoa. What was that?
I think we're getting a phone call.
Oh my gosh. Hello, you've reached the Pretty Much Hotline, where we react to your crazy stories, and this week we asked to hear your crazy roommate stories.
I'm so excited. Again, I have read a couple of these. Kaylee has not.
0.
And
And I like it that way.
We have some interesting ones. I like seeing your like live reaction.
Yeah.
I think it's the best. But yeah, we have some interesting ones. I'm very excited. Yeah, so this first one, you're gonna know exactly who it is. Because we actually, we went on a double date with these two guys. And they're roommates.
I know the story.
The roommate that he's talking about in this comment is the one that I was seeing. And he told us this story on the date, so we know this one. But very short, very sweet. He pissed out of a window. Now, we have details. Because we were sharing embarrassing stories. And
In a Taco Bell.
yes. And he starts to say, yeah, no, like, I was hanging out with some friends. They were, like, in a dorm. This was their freshman year. And, they were, like, a little drunk, whatever. And he needed to pee. And so instead of going to the bathroom, like, out in the hallway, he, went out to, his friend's, like, window, like, in this dorm, which was on the second floor, mind you. And he peed out the window. And not only that, but he also mentioned to us that there was a scream, like a bug scream.
Yes, I forgot about that.
Which, like, I don't think we have to really go into detail there, but not the
You
best
can use
thing.
your imagination.
Yeah, probably not the best outcome.
That's what we did.
And so I hope they're watching this right now, probably laughing.
Hi.
we miss you.
We miss you and we want to come to your frats.
The next one here, I thought this one was funny, and I feel like also just something that everybody has a similar story that's like this.
Okay.
My roommate was on an online class, and I started singing Moonbeam Ice Cream. Turns out she was unmuted, and her class heard. And my other roommate asked if I was drunk. It was 12 p.m.
Oh.
So she's just singing her little heart out in her room.
Aww.
All of a sudden she's unmuted. The whole class hears, and then the class hears someone go, "Is she drunk?" And it's noon.
This sounds like something she would do.
And it's also just like,
I love you.
I think everybody has gone through a similar situation to a certain extent.
Yeah, just being like stupid and then you're like, oh shoot, you're on a call.
Like, oh, like, people can hear me right now.
Yeah.
Because why would she be unmuted? You know what I mean?
I mean, it's your own room.
Yeah.
You're gonna be yourself.
Yeah, so I get that, and I feel like it's just like a classic roommate story.
Moonbeam ice cream, what a pull. Love that.
This next one, it's really long.
Oh,
And,
I'm strapping in.
yeah. This actually came in from one of my good friends from back home who visited me, who you know. She spent Halloween weekend with us last year.
Okay.
Yeah, her. She had a pretty interesting roommate experience.
Okay.
So let's just get into it. So, my freshman year of college, I moved into a dorm room with this other girl. She seemed really nice and we got along really well for the first couple months of school. A couple weeks in, she gets a boyfriend, who was actually her ex-best friend's ex, if that makes sense.
That makes sense.
No wait, I read that wrong. Who was actually her ex's best friend. Wait.
Oh! No way.
Wait, does that make sense?
That makes sense. She started dating her ex's best friend.
Oh, yes, that's true.
Oh my god.
Wait, okay, it just clicked for me. But yes, she started dating her ex's best friend.
Wow.
And they start hanging out all the time. Keep in mind, she hardly ever left our room, and she never even went to her classes. All of a sudden, she starts asking if her boyfriend can come over and hang out, which is honestly fine by me. What I didn't expect is that after 2 weeks of dating, He was going to come over an average of 3 times a week, sometimes 4. The main issue was that they would be up until 4 in the morning yapping away when I had 9 a.m. classes. Mind you, she's pre-med. Like, that girl's struggling as is. Like, let her sleep.
Oh my gosh.
When I would ask if he could head out soon, she would dismiss me and just say they would, like, quiet down, and they never did. I didn't want to go to the RA because I wanted to be able to solve this on our own and didn't want to be the girl who ran to the RA, which, like, I understand. Cause I think that's, like, a big fear.
Makes sense.
After a couple months, he started to stay over some nights, which I was not okay with. Technically, she was a loud guest, so there was nothing I could do. And on one of the nights, I'm asleep, and I wake up in the middle of the night to some noise.
Shut up.
I roll around in bed a little, like, adjusting and whatnot, so, like, they know that she's awake. When I lay back down, I realize they're not regular noises. This is moaning.
No.
They're moaning. I'm shocked, literally frozen in place. I can't believe this. I roll a little, like, more so they realize I'm awake, and, like, I see their shadows. And then the creaking starts.
No. Get me
Keep in
out.
mind, she's in a lofted bed, so the noise is grotesque. They're literally having sex while I'm in the room 6 fucking feet away from them.
That is nasty.
I want to add a little something to this story because I've heard this before. At the very, very beginning of the year, and we have the same thing, we have to do a roommate agreement form where you meet with your RA and you talk about expectations of the room and you sign a contract. In this contract, her roommate said that she didn't want to have boys in the room.
Girl.
Because my friend had one of, like, her guy friends over and they were just hanging out in the room and she got really upset about it and she was like, I don't want guys in the room ever. And then a month later this happens.
Girl, be for real. What a hypocrite.
It's hypocritical, like, just insane, and, like, I mean, I've seen that room. They're very close.
And that's like opposite sides of the spectrum of having a guy in the room. Like,
Yeah, exactly. It's like you didn't want to, like, you were upset because she was hanging out with one of her guy friends, and then you have sex with your boyfriend, like, 6 feet away from her. She ended up, I think, like, leaving the room and literally, like, sitting outside or, like, sitting in the bathroom for, like, half an hour.
Ew.
And this was, like, in the middle of the night.
Oh my god.
I know.
So, that makes me feel like boy rooms should be boy rooms. Although that should not be happening if you have a roommate at all.
If there's somebody else in the room, you can have sex another time.
It's a respect thing.
You just don't do it.
You don't do it.
You can't, like, there's somebody right there, like, you can't, like, I don't know, like, yeah. Just
Pretty
gross.
much.
Pretty much.
Pretty much.
Pretty gross. They don't live together anymore. Her roommate actually moved out, being like, you're a terrible roommate, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, girl, clearly she was the problem.
If that gets you out.
Right? And she ended up having the whole room to herself for the rest of the year. Nobody else moved in. So I ended up, like, working out, and now I think she is living with her sorority, so she's out.
Moral of the story, be tidy, be kind.
Yes, treat your roommates with respect because you have to live with them.
Don't do it in the room.
Nope, don't do it in the room. Find another place.
Yeah,
But I think this pretty much wraps it up.
pretty much.
Thank you so much for listening, and
Listen to last week's episode.
if you haven't already, because it was great.
It's about how we met.
And yeah, we'll see you again in a couple weeks.
Bye.
Bye.
It's time to get going with the Pretty Much Podcast.
Yeah, pretty much.